What's going on, guys? So this video is actually not related to Pokemon as much as that is becoming a big part of my investment portfolio, I guess you could say. I actually drained my entire retirement to start my Pokemon card business on Mercari and eBay, which eBay still, I need to post more stuff. I haven't posted anything. I've always been a buyer on eBay and a seller on Mercari. But I pretty much drained my retirement for that, right? So my retirement, that backup plan is gone. I'm trying to run a business with that backup plan. But I have my entire life savings. My whole net worth basically is hinged on one investment right now, and that is Quantumscape. So Quantumscape is a company that is backed by Bill Gates and Volkswagen, and basically they are trying to solve a 100-year-old problem, the solid state battery problem. They're trying to get rid of the traditional lithium ion battery and replace it with a ceramic separator that's got a gel base that basically allows the batteries to be dendrite free, which dendrites are what destroy and deteriorate batteries. And also, they want the battery to be able to charge in 15 minutes or less and be able to go triple the range of any of the EV cars right now. We're talking like 800 to 1,000 miles. They just released some really interesting cell data. At the beginning of 2020, it got to a point where it hit in October $11.80, right? And then it shot up in a parabolic way all the way up to 132. Now, it was regarded as a meme stock at that point because it shot up so much. But what was happening in December that made it shoot up continuously, because it had shot up to 80 and then it just kept going. I thought at 80 it was going to be done, but it went up to 132 precisely. And the reason for that being is because they released an article saying these batteries are going to change the landscape of EVs. And this is a problem that Elon hasn't been able to solve either. And then one of the big issues is the health and safety concerns of these lithium ion batteries. They get really hot, they overheat, and they catch flame. And people have, I'm not sure 100%. I don't want to say this, but I think people have died from these catching fire. And if they haven't, they've gotten very close to, because this is such a big issue. And it's going to continue. That's going to be one of the biggest deals about these batteries when they're able to commercialize. Now, going into commercialization, so they had 2 cell layers. Then they had 4 cell layers. Then they released data on 6 or 8 cell layers. Then they just recently released data on 10 cell layers. They need 12 cell layers to be commercially viable and to make their prototype. Now, I was under the impression that the prototype was going to come out around this year in February. So we're right in that month right now. So today, it is, the whole market has tanked recently. Really, really bad. NASDAQ retraced from... Basically, on the 2-year chart, NASDAQ was at the lowest that it had ever been in 2 years. So, a serious correction. And I was following the VIX, which is the volatility index, and that was at pretty much an all-time high, too. That's starting to trickle down. I don't know if it's going to go back up, and we'll see a little bit more correction. But today, Quantumscape shot up 8%. Now, my average, and you can laugh at me for this, my average is $35 and something like 80 cents, 70 cents. It's double what the price is right now. I think it's like $15.60 after an 8% jump today from like $13, $14, which I was buying a lot more at 13 and 14 to lower my average from 37. I bought this stock at $63. When it came down from 132, pretty much 50%, I was like, okay, I'm going to invest in this. This is groundbreaking technology. This is something that I'm excited to invest in. And then to talk a little bit about their team, they have Redwood Materials former Tesla co-founder J.B. Straubel. And then they have Jagdeep Singh. And they have a lot of other experts from, I believe, Stanford or Princeton. I'm not 100% sure on that. They do have funding from one of those schools. But they have Jagdeep Singh, who's built Quantumscape before they went with their IPO and went SPAC. they with Kensington Capital. Jagdeep Singh had 10 years of experience doing this. And this is a very humble kind of guy. I think he's a Sikh. He wears like some kind of head wrap. I think he's really really cool guy. I think it's a CEO that I honestly trust more than most CEOs. If it had been just a standard, like honestly, Elon is out there. He is different, but I think if it would have been just a standard like white dude CEO between the Apple founder and Elon, I have not seen someone like this, and I'm glad it's just not like a regular white guy. Like I'm glad it's someone who's different. Um, some people make some messed up jokes about that, but it's whatever. Those people are just being stupid. Jagdeep Singh is extremely talented, very intelligent. He knows what he's doing. They have a top-notch lab, and they have funding from VW, and they've got additional funding from VW. And VW, if you don't know, Volkswagen is the number one auto OEM, and they have signed deals from other partners too, which they haven't disclosed yet. They disclosed one recently, which was an energy storage company that's globally pretty much top dog, if not the second top dog, and that is Fluence Energy Storage. So that was pretty big news when that came out, and then recently they released a bunch of information on the 10-cell layer data. So Quantumscape is my biggest position. And to give you an idea of that position, I'm not going to say how much I put into it, but it's well over six figures. So this is the company that I believe is going to be the next gen technology for EVs, and they also are going to work on consumer devices. So we're talking your iPhone, like right now I have my iPhone on a charger. That's why I had to do this video in my living room. Your iPhones, your laptops, everything, planes, drones, everything is going to go longer, farther, faster, charge better, be safer, dendrite free, so pretty much wear free. Every year you need a new Apple. Basically, I get sick of that. I get sick of the bugs that we get, and our apples pretty much deteriorate. That's not going to happen with a solid state battery. I'm looking at it right now. I just got a notification. QS up 10.3%, 15.90 today. So $16 pretty much is where it's at right now. I think I think at 20 is the bare minimum price for this stock. I got a couple more shares this morning. I plan on getting some more right after this. Oh, screw it. I'm hovering at basically 4,000 shares. I love this company, and I decided, you know what? You're starting a YouTube. Why don't you dedicate one video to something that's, financial? So my background, I went to Queen's University, and I've always been into hustling and flipping stuff and selling stuff. I was really into sneakers. Then I wanted to get into cars. Now I'm into cards. But one of the big things that I studied in school was finance. And someone's texting me. And when I studied finance, I got a job in a financial office. And, I listened to him talk about green stocks and energy and how that could be a risky play, but how he thinks that's the future of everything. There's a race right now to green energy. And as much as I like that job, I worked at JHG Financial here in Charlotte. Before I went back to work and worked with my dad just so I could do stuff with my hands again, because I got tired of being in the office. It was draining for me, and then getting dressed every day. I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I've always been entrepreneurial and wanting to do my own businesses and make my own money and invest in myself. One of the biggest things is investing in yourself. Now, I invested heavily in Quantumscape when I could have invested in myself and started, a brick and mortar business, or like the bar, I could have put more money and more time into that. But I knew that there was going to be something greater that I wanted to invest in. And with Quantumscape, I have something that I'm really passionate about, that I can actually promote and feel good about, that is going to change the world and help the environment and help us be more eco-friendly, because all these materials are also going to be recycled. And if you know JB Straubel, you know Redwood Materials, and you know that they're planning on having a recycling facility for all this stuff so they can reuse stuff. It's going to be amazing, guys. I highly recommend it. The growth potential is insane on it. I am not a sleazy wealth advisor, financial advisor. I'm just telling you what it is and what I believe. And when you believe in yourself like this, it's a good way to be, because it's not just trusting your gut. It's doing a ton of research. And when I first invested in this company, I invested it based on technical analysis and wanting the stock to really rocket off on its own. But now looked up all this stuff, and I see all these reasons for the stock to do so well. And then it's just went downhill pretty much all year. And so all year I said, okay, you can do two things here. You can take a loss, which you don't do. You don't take losses. You always hold out. The only loss I took was Nikola, and that was just a poor investment in general, that my wife's family made a sizable investment in. And she convinced me that it was a good investment because her dad has like $250,000 in it or something. And of course, I invested in it and got out pretty quickly because I just couldn't stand it. It was too much. And I didn't see any progress updates really. With Quantumscape, I see the progress updates, so it doesn't justify the price going down for me. So I've kept buying and accumulating. But anyways, guys, that's a wrap. I just wanted to talk about Quantumscape and one of the plays that I think could take me to the next level. If this play works out, my plans are pretty much to pay off my home, buy my wife an SUV, and you can hold me to that. I won't be looking at new houses. I just want to be financially and debt free. So I want to pay off my house, and then I want to really do more YouTube stuff and spend more money on maybe a studio, better equipment. I really want to put a lot of this money into building my business and investing in myself again. But other than that, just being well off enough and just saving that money and letting it ride out too. I have no plans to take it out anytime soon. I'm thinking QuantumScape is a $500 stock, $1,000 stock that once they commercialize, you're going to see it jump to 100, 200 really, really quickly. And then the rest will be history. I really look forward to saying, uh, you know, today is a day that I did well investing in this stock, and it's paid off handsomely. And I believed in myself. I think one of the big things is that people don't believe in themselves, and they listen too much to other people and not to themselves, and not doing enough research themselves and rationalizing. The market has always continued to go back up. Yes, there's going to be a bear market. We just had a bearish like 2 weeks. It was awful. And honestly, it's been kind of a bearish year, to be honest. It's kind of everything steadily drooped in terms of the growth tech sector, especially SPAC names. They've been hit hard. But anyways, QuantumScape, guys. They are an amazing, groundbreaking company. I'm so stoked to see the price movement today. But a stock is not defined by its price movement. A stock is defined by what they're accomplishing and what their progress is and what their milestones and their goals are. And they have been hitting them one after another. So you'll be seeing me investing and talking more about QuantumScape in the future as it goes up. Hopefully it does. I've already, made it public on my social media that I'm heavily positioned in this company and I believe in it. I have several friends that are in it with me. I have a lot of people that are agonizing right now over the price action, and I've had to kind of hold people's hands through it and say, look, it's a stock. This is investing. We've only held this for 12 months. During the Trump era, we were all investing and just selling stuff same day. And it was easy money, but it didn't teach you how to be an investor. I'm okay with the price movement this year because it's teaching me how to be a better investor and how to psychologically bypass what they're doing. Because they short the stock, they take it down, they manipulate it but with the market makers, and they get people to sell their stock for nothing. And a lot of people are going to lose out in several years. Tesla was dropped all the way down to like something dirt cheap before it started really going up. Amazon got shorted down to like $6, $8. These are big companies that today, are worth, that like their market cap is insane. It's insane. And people say that our market cap at QuantumScape is too crazy. At $20 billion, it was like, this is not a $20 billion company. But there's a lot of people that think it's a $1 trillion company. So, myself included. But anyways, guys, that's QuantumScape. I'm about to run to USPS and send these base set unlimited Pokemon booster packs back to the seller because I think they were resealed. And I kind of know what to look for. I've looked up enough videos on how people do this to kind of figure out how people, would try and get away with something like this. I'm very passionate about that subject. I don't like people trying to rip off other people. And if I do figure out they're doing that, I'm going to blow them up on social media. I take it really seriously. It's not just content like, oh, I got scammed. This is another good video for views. No. It's not like that at all. People need to know when someone is selling fake, scammy, fraudulent products. And also, from what I know now, it's pursuable as a crime if you're selling something that's fraudulent. So I might actually take this up with eBay again and say, I think this is pursuable as a crime and that I could get police involved for the fact that they sent me these booster packs that are unauthorized. So I'm going to try and get a refund one more time and get them to just do it today instead of having to take these back so that I can keep them the way I kept the gold strip deck so that I have something to reference and look at when I'm looking at other fake or resealed products. I don't know what their intention was, but they didn't do a good job of putting me at ease at all. When we were in the messages, they were talking about themselves and how they're at a loss and making it about themselves. And anybody in good customer service knows you don't make it about yourself. You make it about your customers. You always make it about your customers. One of my number one things on Mercari is like, you have any problems, let me know. I swear to God, I'll make it right. But everything I sell is authentic, so I really don't have to have that problem. The worst thing I'm going to get is a 4-star review, which is the only 4-star review I've had, on a sealed deck that said it wasn't clean enough. And I think that person was just upset that they ended up spending the amount of money they spent on a sealed deck instead of doing a lot of research and waiting for a perfect deal. And that's another thing that I won't get into, but people who get good deals like myself on eBay, we're on eBay every day. We're scanning every day for stuff. That's how we find stuff. So if you want to catch really good deals and you don't want to buy it secondhand off somebody else in a third party, then you really should be combing the internet hard for this stuff daily. Anyways, I think Pokemon is a great investment. It's kind of hedging my investment with Quantumscape. I know that sounds weird, cards hedging a real investment, but it is to me. It's all legit, and Quantumscape is my end game, and they're going to develop the end game battery. Anyways, guys, peace out. Tune in. Check that out. Subscribe. Like the videos. Tell me what you think. This is not financial advice. I am not in the financial sector anymore. All I do is run a bar, sell Pokemon cards. That's it, and I happen to invest my life savings in Quantumscape. Anyways, peace out, y'all. Thank you for watching.